Good morning, students. So, today we'll read lesson number 1 from class nine's book Beehive, and the name of our lesson is The Lost Child, and it is written by Mulk Anand. So, let's have a quick introduction of the chapter. So, as you all know, that Mulk Anand is a very famous Indian writer, and The Lost Child, it is the story of a small child who gets lost in a fair. He had gone with his parents to the fair, but loses them when he gets engrossed in looking at a roundabout swing. So he was very much mesmerized, or we can say attracted by the things around him. So the story highlights the bond of love and affection that the child shares with his parents. Before losing them, he had been demanding different things like sweets, balloons, flowers, swings, etc. But once he loses them here is his parents. But when he loses his parents, he is picked up by a stranger. The stranger tries to quieten the child by offering him all these things that he had demanded from his parents. But the child does not want them anymore. He wants his parents first. So I hope the overall outline has been clear to all of you. Now let's proceed towards the summary of our chapter. So the story begins where the child goes to the fair. So it was the spring fair. So it was the spring season, and the fair was in that spring season, means after winter. All the people were going to it. So everybody was so happy because winter was just ended. So all of them, they were going to the fair to enjoy it. Some walked, some people are walking, some rode on horses, some in bullock carts. So these are the different ways or means how people they are going to the fair. The little child ran with his parents. So the little child, he has gone in the fair with his parents. He was overjoyed. He was really happy. He was really excited. When he remained behind, his father asked him to come because he was so engrossed, he was so attracted by the different things around him that he always remained behind his parents. So at the time, his father used to call him. He remained behind to see the toys in the shops. The little boy wanted the toy, but his parents couldn't buy it. So they asked him to look at other things. So whatever he was demanding, his parents were refusing. So other things attract the child. Now here, after this, what has been described? So what are the different things that really attracted the child in the fair? So it was the season of mustard flowering. So mustard flowering, as you all know, that mustard flowers they are also used to make mustard seeds. As it was spring, so you can see different flowers around. So the fields looked gold with it. With the mustard flowers, the field it looked golden. The dragonflies were fluttering over the mustard flowers. Okay, you can see the dragonflies also over the mustard flowers. So the child tried to catch one of them. So the child he was playing with the dragonflies. But again he was called by his mother. He ran gaily towards his parent. He ran happily towards his parents. He heard the dove cooing. Dove is a small pigeon here. He had picked up the petals in the groove there. Okay, so groove is kind of an orchid. So what he was doing, he was picking up the petals of the flowers there. He also ran around the banyan tree. So but again he was called by his parents. So he was really excited. He was enjoying everything in that fair. So the child with parents, he finally reaches the fair. Okay, soon the child reached the fair. He heard a sweetmeat seller calling gulab jamun, rasgulla, burfi, jalebi. The sweet shop was greatly decorated with different sweets. Seeing the sweets, the child's mouth watered. Now he wanted to have those sweets. He said, I want that burfi. The burfi was his favorite sweet, but his parents they were saying no again and again. what they said, but his saying was so unheeded. His saying was unlistened by his parents. So now further the author has described various scenes of the fair. The child went ahead with his parents. So they continued, they keep walking further in the fair. He heard a seller saying a garland of gulmohar. Again, gulmohar is a type of a flower, a garland of gulmohar. The child went to the flower basket. He wanted a garland. Now he wanted a garland now. So whatever he was looking at the fair, he just wanted it. He wanted to buy it. But he knew his parents would refuse to buy him that. But he was aware that his parents they were not going to buy that garland for him. So he moved on. He further moved on from there. Then he saw a balloon seller. He had balloons of various colors. So the boy he was again attracted towards the balloons. The child knew his parents would not buy him a balloon. So again he walked on farther. Now finally the child is lost. So how he get lost? So we'll see. The child he then saw a snake charmer. He was playing a flute to a snake. He went near the snake charmer, but he knew that his parents had asked him not to hear to such music. Okay? So he went ahead. He went ahead from that snake charmer. Then he saw a merry-go-round. It's a kind of a swing. Men, women, children, etc. They were enjoying a ride on it. The child called, I want to go on the roundabout. Please, father, mother. But there was no reply. Okay? He insisted to his parents to have a ride on the merry-go-round. But when he insisted, what he saw that there is no reply from his parents. Now the child had been lost. He looked everywhere, but he was lost in that fair. So the child, in a very bad shape now. He was in very pathetic condition now. So a full deep cry rose within the child's deep throat. Now he was crying. He cried, mother, father. Tears rolled down his eyes. He was crying bitterly. He cried and ran to and fro. He was looking around, and he was looking around. He was looking everywhere for his parents, but he couldn't see his parents. People laughed and talked. So what he saw around, that people they are busy in their own activities. They are laughing. They are talking to each other. Then he ran to a shrine. Now shrine is a sacred place. Okay? He ran there. So it was also crowded. There was a big crowd there. The child went a bit ahead between the people's feet, but he was pushed back because it was so crowded. A man heard his cry. He lifted him up in his arms. Still, okay? Finally he met a man there who tried to help him. The man tries to locate the child's parents. The man he tries to search his parents. The man asked the child how he got there and how he reached there. He asked the child. He also asked him the names of his parents. What are his parents' names? But the child only said, I want my father. The man took the child to the merry-go-round. So the man he took the child to that swing. He asked him if he wanted to ride on a horse. The man was ready to give him a ride on a horse also. But the child said only that he wanted his mother. Then the man asked him if he would take a balloon. But the child sobbed and sobbed. He kept on crying. He wanted his father and mother only. So whatever the things towards he was very much attracted earlier, so all those things they were now of no use for him. The child is taken to the flower seller and the sweetmeat shop. The man then took the child to the flower seller. He asked him if he would like to put a flower garland round his neck. So earlier he wanted that garland, but now he didn't. The child turned his nose. He only said, I want my mother. I want my father. Then the man asked him which sweet he would like. So earlier he wanted sweets from that sweetmeat shop, but now he didn't agree to have any sweet. So the child turned his face. He only said, I want my mother. I want my father. So we can say that through this story, we can very well understand the worth of parents in the life of a child. Okay, so the man, he was offering everything to the child that he wanted earlier, but it was useless for him now because he only want to reunite with his parents. So by this chapter, we can say the author, and he has beautifully highlighted the relation of a child and a parent. So I hope all of you have understood the summary of the chapter.